Hello world, Red Randall, I'm back again, and today I'm going to be reviewing some more of my EDC gear. Some of the items that you see here in front of you include my cell phone, my breath freshener, my wallet, improvised wallet, another one of my smaller pocket knives, my keys, and my paracord bracelet. Let's go ahead and start here with my cell phone. This cell phone is about a year old for me. I've got a holster that I put on my hip, and then this is an LG phone here. Pretty simple, not too snazzy. So, and for my uses, I absolutely love it because it's very simple, not any extra things to it. It's very simple to use, and I would highly recommend it just because it comes with this very convenient holster for my hip, and it's big, but it's not too big. My only knock on this phone is the amount of storage space on it. Its storage space is pretty small by comparison to some other phones I've had, so that'd be my only knock on it, is just the storage space. But overall, for what it provides, and considering how small it is, it's a great phone. So, moving along here, this is some Listerine mouse spray. This is just for fresh breath, and for me, I find that this is much more convenient as opposed to carrying around gum everywhere. So I've used these for years and years, and I just love them so much because it's just so convenient and makes it a lot easier to have fresh breath as opposed to carrying around gum or anything like that. So, moving on here, this is a improvised wallet. As you can tell, I've used a couple of clips here to secure it, and basically what it is I've got my money wrapped around my cards. In here I've got my credit card, couple IDs that I need, and I believe basically a couple of cards. So, and for me, this wallet works just as good as any other wallet that I can get, and it's a simplistic view upon a wallet as opposed to having a giant bulky wallet. So, if anybody out there is looking to downsize their wallets, I would highly recommend doing something like this, just because it provides all the capabilities of a bigger wallet without all the size. I find it a great wallet. I hardly ever even notice it's there. It's a great way to do a wallet, and I just came upon this just by trial and error. I tried a couple other systems. For the longest time, I just had a small little tiny wallet that was kind of like a money clip kind of thing, and with a couple of leather straps on it, but it just didn't work. It kept falling apart, and the cards would come out the side, and it was really messy. And so this is eventually what I've come upon for my wallet uses, and I find it a great way to store money, to store credit cards that I need, and everything like that. So I would highly recommend people doing this, because I see all the time people using giant wallets that really at the end of the day are not needed. If you really get down to brass tacks and you really think about what you really need, a lot of times you really don't need anything more than a couple of credit cards, and just basically just a couple of cards at the end of the day. So And if I really need to, I can bring along an extra wallet and just keep it in my car, and then if I need to, I can just go back to my car and pick up anything extra I need. But really, I haven't really run into that problem too much, so I found that this is very, very good to use and very easy, and it's a very simplistic view upon a wallet. So from that respect, I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, and now moving along here, this is a pocket knife. This knife here is for times whenever I need something very small to fit my pocket, or whenever I need something that whenever I'm going to like a nice dinner or something like that, and I don't want a big heavy knife that's going to weigh my pockets down, or just going to create wrinkles or something in my pockets. So it is a non spring-loaded or spring, I should say spring-assisted knife. It's just a very simplistic manual knife. As you can see, it is by Gerber. This is my first Gerber made knife. So far I love it. It fits the use very well, being just a part of the reason I bought this is because it was a small knife. I needed a small knife that I could carry in small pockets, or pockets I didn't really want to get too baggy or something like that, so too weighed down, something, so for its uses, I love this knife. The only downside to it is that it does not, in fact, have a spring assisted. It's not spring assisted. So, but aside from that, I love it because it does fit its use very well. So, all right. So moving on here, we are moving on to my keys. Here on my key ring, as you can see, we have a bottle opener. So whenever I go to tailgates and stuff like that, I have a bottle opener from Dennis. I've got my keyless entry for my car. This is for a Honda Civic. So, and personally, I just love this Honda Civic, and so it makes it very easy. Got a couple of little keyring things here. I got a football schedule for my team, and then I've got a Panera card, which I just love. And then I've got my multi-tool. This multi-tool I've really come to love. It is the Leatherman Micra. As you can see, Micra. So, on the Leatherman Micra, you have scissors, a knife, a nail file, a small screwdriver, a medium screwdriver, a flathead Phillips screwdriver, a bottle opener, a set of tweezers, and a keyring attachment. And it is also stainless steel. So the only disadvantage to this setup here is that since it does have a knife on it, I cannot take it to the airport. So that would be the only disadvantage that I have, that this setup has. If it was one of the smaller Leathermans, I could take it to the airport, but basically if I ever wanted to drive to the airport, instead of taking a cab or something else, I would have to take my backup set of keys and instead of these, because obviously I cannot take this to the airport with me because they do not allow knives. So that is the only downside to using this setup right here with with this Leatherman on it. And finally, we have my paracord bracelet. I have never had to use one of these paracord bracelets, but again, for most people, it's a just in case item, and for me, it's just the same. I feel supremely confident that if I had a knife or a multi-tool on me and I had this, that I'd be able to do a lot more than if I didn't have it. So that's what it really comes down to at the end of the day, is that it just provides me with so much more in capabilities as opposed to not having it. So there you got it. There you have my one. This is the major part of my everyday carry. Basically, one of the two biggest parts that change in my everyday carry would be either this, or whenever I'm going to the airport, probably this. With this, it's just because you've got to change out knives depending upon what you want in capabilities. I've got bigger knives that weigh down my pockets a little bit more and are quite a bit bigger, and they're spring assisted and everything like that. Or I've got this small one that is pretty much just like a minimalist view of a knife. So you really gotta decide what type you really want. And coming up in my videos, I will begin to review my other bigger knives. I've already reviewed one, the Smith & Wesson Black Ops, but I do have a couple other ones that I add into the rotation if I want something larger than this. So, but overall, this would probably be one of the base setups for the EDC everyday carry rotation. Again, I might swap in or out another paracord bracelet, but essentially it's going to be the same basic setup as this one right here. So please, if you have any questions about this setup or any comments, I would highly recommend, or I would highly encourage any questions or comments about any of this stuff, and I am very open to answering any questions or comments that you might have. So that would be the end of it. Again, please leave any questions or comments you have, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.